Hi, and welcome to our channel. I'm Donnie, and this is Linda, and this is our dog Roxy. We want to invite you to follow our adventures as we build out our van and travel the country on our social media channels and website. Vacay 24/7, 365.
All right, so our cabinet guy didn't come through. Found another cabinet guy. Wanted a crazy amount of money. I'm sure they do good work, but anyway, for 330 bucks, I got upper cabinets, Hampton Bay from Home Depot. There's a little gap here on top. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm doing. I got a 36 incher, a 30 incher, and a 30 incher, 96 inches. This comes out to exactly 8 feet, which is the length of that board, minus about 2 inches I cut off of the end. I'll explain why in a minute. So what I did was I kind of stacked boxes up here and put boards up till it almost touched the roof so I could kind of see. So on the back of the cabinet, it drops in, there's about a 1/2 inch. So that'll go up behind here. I just temporarily nailed this up with my air nailer. I'm going to come back in with some lag screws and big washers. These are going to go through here. I've already pre-drilled the holes. This will go into every one of my studs that's running this way across that my shiplap's tied onto. So that'll get bolted into studs there. Now the roof, if you look, is at an angle going like this. There's about a half to 3/4 of an inch difference between here and 12 inches in, which is about right here. So it's a little over a 1/2 inch. So what I did was I'm going to use a 1x3 here, which is 3/4 inch, which is the depth of the top of the cabinet. Out here I'm going to do a 2x4 that's going to run all the way down, and this bottom edge and that bottom edge will be almost level. Then, ow, hit myself. What I'm going to do, I'll explain this. Pretend this is the wall of the van. I'm going to notch in here and cut this out to fit my 1x3. Probably make it about an extra 1/4 inch on each side. Notch this out here for my 2x4. So my 2x4 will be actually sitting down in right along here with this notched out and attached on the roof. My 1x3 on the back side because the roof's at an angle. Ah, shoot, my angle sucks here. There we go. My roof's at an angle. So this will be touching on the back. It's taller in the front, so it'll be touching here. So I'm gonna screw the boards into the studs. Then I'm gonna come back with longer bolts. And it's very important you measure the thickness of the top of the cabinet, the 2x4, the inch of stuff that it's going into, because if it's too long, you'll go through the roof. But I'm doing it on beam, so I actually should have a lot of clearance. But inside the cabinets, I'm gonna use these long bolts with these big fat washers. Can you see these? And then that will go inside the cabinet. So I'm doing 4 bolts into the studs, and then I'm gonna do 2 bolts through the cabinet into my runners, my 2x4 and my 1x6, 2 per cabinet in the front, 2 per cabinet in the back. So I'm gonna have 8 bolts holding it. And then I'm gonna have to devise a way for the bottom. It shouldn't go anywhere, it should be structurally sound, but I'm still gonna tie in the bottom so that it looks kind of nice and pretty. I was thinking it'd be cool if there was a way to make a wine rack that you could slide stuff down like a tube or something, but anyway, I haven't got that creative yet. Maybe put a piece of 4-inch PVC behind it, and then you could load wine bottles from the back of the van, have it at an angle, and they just kind of slide down toward the front with a cap. You pull the cap off and pull a wine bottle out. I'm thinking as I'm going, so I'm getting pretty creative here. Anyway, so we'll see how it comes out. A couple notches on top of these cabinets. Those other boards should sit right on the roof of the cabinet. Boom. Screw those into the boards that are already lagged up into the studs in the roof. Shouldn't go anywhere. If they do fall off, they're only $98 for the 30-inch 12x12 and $110, I think, for the 36 12x12. Anyway, we'll see how it comes out. All right, I'm covered in wood shavings. Van looks like a wreck. Wood shavings everywhere, but thank God for leaf blowers. So anyway, here's what we got. 1x3, 2x4, lagged into the stud that goes this way. I can actually feel up underneath here and feel it. These things ain't going anywhere. There's 4 of them with big washers all the way down. And then next, we're gonna go notch out the tops of those cabinets. So where there's a 3/4 inch relief at the top of the cabinet, we're gonna cut out the sides so the cabinet will fit up against this, and these boards will be flush up against the bottom of the cabinet. This one here actually will have a little bit of a gap. This one should be touching nice and firm. And then what we're gonna do is we'll hold that up, make sure it looks good. I'm gonna start at the far end, do that one first, put the next one, do the next one, because my other one's gonna probably come down and hang over a little bit part of this doorway. And then I'll just finish out the back side. So we're gonna start at the back where we don't have any room to, if I start here and I go that way and I run out of room, I'm screwed. So it's better to start there, just put it as far down as I want it, and then work this way. And then just this end here will just adjust the overhang. Anyway, that's it. We'll see. Got to go over here and start screwing up my brand new cabinets. All right, I wanted to show you what we're talking about here. So since this one's going to be on the end, this can be facing the back of the van. I did not cut this one out. When I put my 8-foot 2x4s up, I cut about that much off to allow for this end piece and the one on the very, very far end. So I just cut this out like this with a jigsaw. Just cut down to here, came in at an angle cut, and just kind of went back and forth till it's pretty smooth. And then I'll take my cabinet, hold it up, get my air nailer. Oh, the sun's behind me. Sorry about that. Hold it up there. Be nice if I had another person to help. Hold it up there. Pow, pow, a couple nails just to hold it into the 2x4 and the 1x6. And then once I get them all lined up, then I'll come back and I'll drill the holes, and I will put my lag bolts with my big super fat washers that'll anchor it up into those suckers up there. Those things are so sturdy. You have a bunch of monkeys hanging off of them. You can kind of see the end of that one cross beam up there, but anyway. All right, let's see how good or bad my measurements were. All right, first cabinet is in. Get back here so you can see what I'm talking about, how these boards run down into that channel. Now the ceiling is at an angle, which means the boards are at an angle, and of course the cabinet top is flat, so that's why it's going to look like it's touching there but not on the front side. But that's why I'm going to come through with big flat washers that are going to hold it. Actually, I'm going to re-nail that one. I was trying to do it by myself. Need to have another person help hold it up while I'm inside with the air gun. But anyway, that's just a general idea of how it's going to fit together. The only thing I could do would be take the 2x4s down, rip them at about a 15-degree angle, re-screw them in there. It's not worth it. Those clothes are going to be holding t-shirts, underwear, and socks. Nothing that's going to mount more than probably 15-20 pounds, if that, per cabinet. And then of course the kitchen cabinet one is going to have cereal, oatmeal, freaking coffee pods, stupid stuff like that. So I mean, it's not like they're getting a lot of weight. And the boards that they're anchored into are super solid, and I got those huge washers, so they should not go anywhere. And I'm going to tie it in the backside. So anyway, I think 4 bolts going, 2.5-inch lag bolts with big washers going into studs that are screwed into studs. We should be good. Anyway, that's just what it's gonna look like. Almost done. Best 350 bucks I ever spent. Look at this. Booyah! How you like that, Mr. Cabinet Maker that wanted 1,200 bucks? I'm gonna trim this out. Put a piece of trim all the way down. Heck, might even just paint that piece of wood. Well, I got some gap up there I need to take care of. Anyway, plenty of space. They're just nailed in with an air nailer right now, so I can't go King Kong on them. But look at that. Put some little black knobby knobs on there. Some kind of little magnetic closure so stuff doesn't come flying out. Adjust these doors. Look at that. 8 feet of cabinets. 330 bucks. Duh. Tell I'm tired. It's the end of the day. 330 bucks. Home Depot, Hampton Bay. They're actually pretty well made, believe it or not. The back's MDF, but everything else it's pretty decent. You know, it's not soft close hinges or anything, but you know, we're in a van. I think it's gonna look good. We get some low profile, and I'm gonna put the knobs, instead of putting them down here, I'm gonna put them up high. That way it's just one less thing to catch on when you're crawling in bed right here. It'll just be easy to grab it up high. So we're gonna put the knobs up at the top with a little magnetic closure, probably right in the middle. So, or maybe we'll put them in the middle. I don't know, we'll hold them up there and see what looks best. But first one's bolted in. You can put a barrel of monkeys up there. Other two come down at a speed bump. So anyway, it's looking good. I'll show you after it's all bolt. Well, you've seen it. I'm just putting bolts on the inside. That's pretty much it. Everybody have a great day.